Hello there, this is Amy Hetrick. I hope that you have had a good Thanksgiving holiday. I was off for a week or so, just taking a break on vacation, but I'm ready to get back at it and make a video for you this week since it's, oh, I'm sorry, eye itchy all of a sudden. Since it is December, woohoo! I thought we'd do a Christmas painting today. So really simple, little watercolor Christmas tree. All you need is watercolor. It can be any kind. I mean, it doesn't matter what brand, just whatever you have. And a paintbrush. It can be, I like to use a little bit bigger one, but you can, doesn't matter, it just depends on what size Christmas tree you would like. So a paintbrush, and then you're going to need water. I will explain more of the water, how I set it up in a minute. And you'll need, oh, I already said, and you need a paper towel. I always like to use paper towel or some kind of cloth with watercolors. So grab your supplies and come join me at my art table. Okay, so down at my art table, what you need to do is you need to get your watercolor set ready and your water. I have a container that holds 2 things of water, and the reason that is important because if you use one watercolor, it's really important to keep a side that has clean water and then a side that has dirty water, and I'll explain that as we go, but that is kind of important with watercolors. So if you don't have 2 sides or 2 cups or whatever, you can make it work. But what happens is if your water starts getting really dirty, and then you always need to have clean water to make your paint wet. Okay, especially if you're using pans, you always have clean water. So anyway, what we're going to do is this is what we're making here. I'm going to put this right here so you can see what I'm going for. I don't even know if that's in the frame. That's what we're going for, but I'm gonna paint it bigger here so that you can see what I am doing. Sorry, I can't decide where I want it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to get green paint. Now I already have a green paint that I like, but if you do not have green, if you only have like primary colors, then you can always make green with the 2 primary colors, yellow and blue. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And you can get green. Now, I'm going to go for a lighter green to start with, okay? I'm going to do this in stages. So I'm kind of mixed up a lighter green. And you're going to start at the top, and a Christmas tree is a triangle. So we're going to start at the top, and you're going to keep loose. I like to keep my instruments loose in my hand. And you're going to start at the top. Make sure on your paper that you leave space for a star if you want a star on the top. Because if you don't do that and you start your tree all the way at the top, especially kids, if you're joining along, make sure you leave some space. So I'm going to come down an inch or 2. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to just take my paintbrush and swoop it down, swoop it down, swoop it down. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up my brush, and I'm going to do another layer. You can either start from the top and go down, or you can start from the bottom and go up. It really doesn't matter. Okay, and go swoop it down, swoop it down. Pretty cool, huh? Need some more paint. You're going to do that for as many layers as you would like your tree. I'm leaving, if you can see, I'm leaving some white space, and I'm doing that intentionally because I want to have, it's always good to leave some value, some very light colors in your painting. And so that's why I'm leaving the white, and that'll also give me some spaces to go back and put ornaments on. So I'm going to leave a little bit of white. Okay, I'm going to add some more. Christmas trees are very relaxing because you're just flicking it I'm running out of paint, so in case you forget how to mix it, it's yellow and blue. Okay. Now, if your color is too dark, you can do one of two things. If your green is too dark, you can either add a little bit more yellow to lighten it, or you can just add a little bit of more water to it, and it will lighten it. But I think I'm okay with the color it is right now. If it's not, doesn't match exactly, it's fine, because if you look at a Christmas tree, it's got all shades of green, so no big deal. Guess it would help if I move that. Okay, so there we go. And I'm just flicking it. Those little brush strokes, very simple. Anybody can do this. This is a very simple project that even really small kids can do, because it's just doing lines with your paintbrush. It's really hard to mess it up. Okay, so now what we need to do is let this dry. If you are impatient like me, you can take a hair dryer to it or some kind of heat dryer to it. If not, you can let it air dry. It's always best to let it air dry, but I rarely follow that rule. What you can do, this is one of those projects that if like you could use, this would make a really good Christmas card, really cute Christmas card. So you could make several of them at one time, and then so that way while one is drying, you could be working on the other one and the different steps, and it just speeds the process along. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and dry this, and I will be back in a minute. Okay, my tree is good and dry now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a slightly darker green this next round. Okay, so I'm gonna make some more green. Now, in order to make your green darker, I'm add more blue than I did with the lighter color. So I'm gonna make it nice medium green. Okay, not super dark, but a good color. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing we did before with the brush strokes, but I'm gonna kind of do it towards the bottom and leave the very top parts the lighter color. Okay, so you just go over each row just like we did the first one, and add some darker greens. This just gives it dimension, gives it more interest. Just makes it look nice. And when I am doing a painting, I try to have different values in my artwork, and that is where you have lights, you have like medium tones, and then you have darks, and that just is a good rule of thumb to have. I'm trying to, almost running out, didn't want to mix more colors. There we go. Okay, so again, once you do that one, you go ahead and let it dry, or I'm going to go ahead and dry it, and then we'll be back for the last layer of the tree. Okay, last layer of the tree. So I'm going to mix green again, but this time I'm going to make it a dark green. If you look at evergreen trees, there's some darks, so I'm going to really add a lot more blue. When you're thinking of dark colors, sometimes you want to add black. Don't do that. Just whatever was your darkest shades, that is what you should add some more of. In this case, it's blue. Okay, now we're going to go back and do the same thing. Go towards the bottom. Just flick up. I feel like that needs to be a little bit darker. I'm going to stop, add more blue. Here we go. That's a nice color. I like that. Okay. Okay, see what I just did there? I did too much water. Okay, especially kids, if you're first doing watercolor, that's one thing you have to learn is you don't want to put too much water. If that happens, you can carefully take a clean part of your paper towel and blot it up, okay? If that happens to you. And then you can go back and try it. Not so much water. Okay, remember, doesn't have to be perfect. Just do your best. Painting and drawing takes lots of practice. I have been doing this my whole life, so it may seem like this is really easy to do for me, and maybe it doesn't feel easy to you. Don't get discouraged. Just know that the more you do it, the better it will get, the easier it'll get. Ooh, this is pretty. I love it. So fun. Happy little branches. All right, and that's it for the tree. I'm gonna, before we add the ornaments, I'm gonna clean off my brush. Anytime you switch colors of any kind, you really need to clean off your brush, because you don't want to get, if you don't, you're gonna get all your colors muddy, and we don't want that. I'm gonna take a brown, and I'm gonna put a quick little trunk of the tree right here. If your tree is still a little damp and it starts to bleed, that's okay. I think that looks cool when that happens. So, okay, then clean off, and then you're gonna sit there and let it dry. Make sure your tree is completely dry in this stage before we move on to ornaments. Okay, now I'm gonna add some ornaments. You can make your ornaments any color you would like. It really does not matter. It's whatever. I'm gonna choose 3 different colors, but with art, it's up to you. It's up to the artist. You know how many you want, how big you want them. So you do it the way you want to do it, and you're just making little circles. If they're not perfect circles, don't panic. It's hard making things perfectly round, and it doesn't have to be. I'm going to put small ones and big ones. I like to have a variety of shapes. Makes it interesting. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put red. I love red. Red and Christmas is just goes together. I just love red. Okay. And you do it however you want. Like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, make sure you clean off your brush really well before you switch colors. Okay, all right. I'm gonna do yellow because I think yellow is a good contrasting color. Okay, if this is all dry, it should be fine to go over top. If it doesn't, if you've used too much paint and it's bleeding a little bit where it's like running together, it's okay. Once it dries, it's going to look really cool. So don't panic if that happens to you, and just let it turn out how it wants. And it'll I promise you, it'll be cool. Okay. Okay, and let's see. I'm going to pick one more color. I think I'm going to add add some purple. I've got some purple. Actually, just kidding. I'm going to add teal. That's always my favorite. I don't know why I tried to change it. This is my favorite color. So it's kind of like a turquoise color. But again, you choose your favorite colors that you want. All right. Remember, I'm going to make some big and some little. Kind of trying to put some in some of these white spots, empty spaces. Okay, and that's that. And then we just have one last thing to do, and that's the star at the top. Hopefully you left space for it on your paper like I had asked you to in the beginning. And I'm going to take a nice yellow, nice bright yellow. And this start is really easy. We're going to start with a cross shape. So we're going to, or a T, cross, or a T, whatever you want to look at it. So down and across like that. And then you're going to do 2 diagonal lines, one from the top left, bottom right, and one from left up to the right, just like that. And that is it. That is it. And one final thing, especially if you are or anybody, a kid, an adult, whatever, one of my rules is to always sign your work. It is super important because when somebody finds your artwork, if you save it, and somebody finds your artwork, they want to know who did it. So I always sign it, and I always put the year because I like to go back at my art and see how I've come, how far I've come and improved. So I hope you enjoyed this, and make as many Christmas trees as you want. Like I said, they make great gifts for people. They can be great Christmas cards or whatever. Have a good week. Thank you. Bye-bye.